and welcome to the vlog. So maybe a good start would be to introduce myself, I guess. My name's Vanessa. I work full-time and I feel like it takes up a lot of my life. I figured that starting weekly vlogs or just a daily vlogging my life would be a good way to not only romanticize my life, but to also keep a video diary of everything that I get up to, so that in the future I can watch these back and see that I did a lot more than just work. I think a lot of other people's outlet would be journaling, which I have tried many times. I've bought so many different notebooks, so many different journals, hoping that the habit would just form and it'll be easy for me to get my thoughts out of my head and onto paper so that it's not consuming me. But unfortunately, it's just not for me. So the goal for this week, and when I say this week, I mean the next 4 days, is to live my life how I was going to live it, and I suppose just document it while I'm out there. It may seem like a small goal, but I really don't feel like it is. It is now 3 o'clock. Only 2 more hours until the end of this workday, and honestly, thank God it's Thursday as well. I just cannot anymore. My brain simply cannot hold any more information or care anymore. So I think it's time for a break. Yesterday there was a 10 Wicked Wings for $10 deal at KFC, so couldn't say no. And now it will be my snack for the day. Okay, it is 5 o'clock, finished work, and before I can get cozy, I'm gonna go for a run. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I'm actually training for a half marathon that's happening in 4 weeks. I really thought that once winter started and the sun starts setting really early, that I would lose a lot of motivation to go. But I think the fact that I, one, have actually already paid to run this half marathon, and two, I've told everyone in my life that I'm running a half marathon, that is motivation enough to continue training. Today I'm going to be running a tempo run, so I think I'm just going to start with about 2 kilometers of a warm-up run, 4 kilometers of my tempo pace, and then maybe like a 1 or 2 kilometer cool down or something like that. That was actually quite enjoyable. I didn't mind that run. In the beginning though, didn't have high hopes. As I started running, my left Achilles started hurting and my right shin started hurting, and I was like, damn. But we made it through. I did have every intention to vlog a little bit of the run, but quite frankly, a tempo run is far too hard to try and also hold a camera up while I'm running, because I'm just trying not to die. Now, I don't want you to get it twisted. I am not a good runner. The thing is, I feel like I'm on the cusp, right? Because you have like beginner slow runners, and you also have like the fast-ish runners, you know? But I'm kind of on the cusp between them. I would say I'm aggressively mediocre when it comes to running. So today's tempo pace was about 6:45 pace, which isn't completely unfathomable, but it was definitely difficult. Definitely a little bit challenging. I wasn't huffing and puffing the whole way, but huffing and puffing enough to know that I could not get my camera out of my pocket and be like running and vlogging at the same time, you see. So you get the before and now you get the after, but the show must go on. I still need to start baking a cake. I know, I'm crazy, right? Baking and assembling a cake basically takes 2 days, because the first day you have to actually bake the cake layers, but then you can't frost it until the next day, because you don't want to because you don't want to frost a cake that is even the tiniest bit warm, because that's how your frosting melts, and that's how you get a disgusting cake, you see. So I have to make the cake layers today, because I don't have time to do it tomorrow, because I'm going out for dinner, and I'm just not going to put myself through that stress. So I'm going to make it today, have them in the fridge, and then after my long run on Saturday, I'll frost it and then head off. That's the plan anyway. So usually when I bake a cake, 2 layers of a 6-inch pan is enough. Usually I cut each layer in half, so then I end up with 4 layers, but I decided to make a sponge cake this time, and I forgot that sponge cakes deflate. So
all these layers are super thin and I won't be able to cut them in half, and I just don't want a cake this short. So I had enough leftover batter to make one more layer, but yeah, this is what it's looking like. Like, hello, it's comparing these layers to this layer, it's not looking good, but it's the best that I have, so it's just gonna have to do. And once you like, you know, put the icing on, it's like so fine. So fine. Anyway, it's time to clean up because look at the state of my little kitchen. It's just insane.
You're probably wondering, Vanessa, where are you? What are you doing? Why are you in a bathroom? The answer to that question is that I'm at work. I know going to the office on a Friday is absolutely diabolical, and everyone always looks at me weird when I say that I do it, but I actually don't mind going in on a Friday. Specifically, I am getting my lashes done after work. So I'm really excited about that, and then I have dinner with some friends afterwards. But the other question you might be asking is, well, why are you getting ready in a bathroom? And the answer to that is that I went to the gym this morning. Generally, an in-office day means going to the gym in the morning because I think it sets a really good tone for the rest of my mood. I don't know about you, but if I wake up and immediately have to jump out of bed and like brush my teeth and log into work or rush off to work, it's just not, it doesn't put me in a good mood. It makes me feel really frazzled, really anxious. So waking up a little bit early, getting a workout in the morning makes me feel much better. Moment of truth. You know what? Not bad. That's pretty good. Thank you. Yum. That actually looks so good. I regret not getting this one.
You can try some. Give me a bowl, I'll scoop something up.
Alright, I've made it home. After work, I went into the city to get my lashes done. It's been a long time since I've had lash extensions. I stopped doing them for a little while because of budget reasons, but I think I just really missed waking up and just being able to go, not having to worry too much about putting on makeup. And so I feel like, I think this is something that I am willing to budget every month now. I feel much more fresh, I feel much more pretty, so you can't put a price on that. Afterwards, I went to dinner with some friends. We went to this new Korean place called Saggye. So they specialize in gomtang. So it's a traditional hearty Korean soup made by slowly simmering beef bones and various cuts of meat. So it's basically a clear broth that is really rich in flavor. And we waited a whole hour in line, and the line actually didn't look that long. So I was like, oh, surely we won't be waiting any more than like, 20 or 30 minutes. But we're not waiting in line for an hour, and we couldn't even sit together because the place was just so small. So I didn't want to try anything too out there. I just want to try what their OG broth is just to get a baseline. But then we got it, and oh my God, it was actually so good. The soup, I wouldn't say was super rich in flavor, but it was seasoned well enough, and the beef broth was just beautiful. It wasn't overpowering. I just felt like it was the right amount of seasoning, the right amount of that beefy flavor. I also felt like the portion of meat that they gave us was really generous as well. When usually when you get soups, they give you what, like 3 pieces of meat and call it a day. But this one, oh, so good. And my friend got the oxtail one, which I did want to get, but I was adamant that I would try the special gomtang because I didn't want to deviate too much from what their specialty is. But low-key, regretted it. I wish I got the one that she got because it was beautiful. It was so creamy, so full of flavor. The oxtail just melted in your mouth and oh my God. So look, I'll be back. I don't know when I'll be back. Hopefully when the hype dies down a little bit and the line isn't so long. But I have a feeling that might be a while because now that it's winter, it's starting to get quite cold. And I feel like it's soup weather. People are gonna want soup. But now it's 9 o'clock, which is relatively early, but I think I'm gonna shower, do a little bit of a clean up, wind down, and then go to sleep. I have quite a busy day tomorrow. Hello, I'm about to go for my long run of the week. I'm leaving a little bit later because I had an appointment this morning, but now we're free for the rest of the day until nighttime. Today on the agenda is a 17-kilometer run, which is actually insane to think about because I'm classifying this as a quote-unquote shorter long run because my long run last week was 19 kilometers. Because I'm 4 weeks out to run Melbourne, I'm actually tapering off the distances that I'm running. So this week will be 17 kilometers. I think next week will be 14 kilometers. But the focus for the tapering weeks up until then will be to work on my speed, because even though my first goal for the half marathon is to just finish it, my secondary goal would be to finish it in about 2 hours and 25 minutes. But like the pace where I'm most comfortable running in, which is about a 7-minute kilometer, is not fast enough basically to finish a half marathon in 2 hours and 25 minutes. The speed that I'm aiming for is about a 6:45 pace, which I'm mostly hoping will be fueled by adrenaline on the day. But overall, I'm going to continue working on my speed and trying to improve that as I go along because, like I said before, I'm not a good runner. I am aggressively mediocre. So if I could run faster, that would be ideal as well. To make sure that I have tissues so that I can blow my nose. Super duper important, because the worst thing is when you're on a run, your nose starts running too, and there's nothing you can do about it except blow your nose into your hand and try to just fling the snot away. Don't ask me how I know that. These are just things that I know. So I was gonna film while I decorated the cake today, but to be honest, cake decorating just stresses me out, and so I didn't film anything. So I figured I would just show the aftermath. I'm actually, the cake is okay. I am still trying to figure out this whole cake decorating thing, but I think it's quite cute. Hold on, let me show you. Look, it says it's a house because it's for my friend's housewarming. So eat a matcha sponge cake with American buttercream. Look, is it the best cake? No, but it's got hearts on it. I think what I struggle with most at the moment is my consistency of buttercream. I feel like I can never get it silky soft like I see in videos, even though I feel like I'm following the same recipe that I see online, and I'm like, how come my buttercream isn't silky smooth? So if anyone has any recommendations, any tips and tricks on how to get like better buttercream, let me know. So it's the next day. I am going back to Faye's soon for another lunch that she's hosting with our used to be work friends. Another dish, so I decided to make a sushi bake. I've actually never made this before. And salmon that I just air fried. We'll take the skin off though.
First thing that we're eating. What you can tell is that long-term stay somewhere else.
Back again.
Back again.
What's on the menu?
I'm currently going to reheat some rice, reheating some Japanese curry.
Yum.
We've got some amazing lasagna from Joe.
Yum.
We've got your sushi bake.
Let's look at it.
Hello.
Yum.
Leftover cake.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then if we come over here,
Nikki.
we've got Nikki.
Show us what you brought.
So I made baguettes. So in here we have pastrami, brie cheese, and then there's tomatoes. The sauce is honey mustard and balsamic glaze, and there's rocket. And that's it.
Yeah.
But it should be good. I haven't tried it. Oh, and I also, it's gone. I
Oh.
also made a peach iced tea that I brewed myself.
The mama.
Alright, dig in. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I am home. It's been a very social weekend, a very social 3 days in a row, which I feel is unheard of for me. To be honest, I got home and all I did was lie in bed and watch TikToks, and that is the exact reset that I needed. Had a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but as an identifying introvert, I just need some time off and some time for myself. Overall, great weekend, great week. I am just going to spend the rest of the night folding laundry and just doing a very quick cleanup around the apartment so I can reset for the next week. So I might leave it there. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching my first solo vlog. I hope it was interesting. I hope that you found it interesting, and I'll do my best to continue. Starting from tomorrow, which is a Monday. This vlog started from a Thursday, so I'm going to try to do better next week. It will start from tomorrow. So I'll catch you then. Bye.